Good morning. I'm Joe Burgess, the proud principal here at Charles High School, and I want to welcome everyone back. This has been an unprecedented year with the ending of the year and the year we're about to embark upon. And I just want to make sure to remind you, tell all of you, even if you're new, that we love every one of you. We're gonna do as best we can to get through this, and we definitely value your input. Anything you can do to kind of help us to march on into the year. But the theme for this year is one step at a time, because that's basically what we're going to be doing. It's new curriculum, it's new information, new regulations, new health conditions. I mean, it's one step at a time. We don't always have all the answers, but we will promise to chase them down for whatever we need. I am happy to talk to you about my team that will be supporting you. First of all, my assistant principal for curriculum is Mrs. Callie Pickens. You'll be hearing later from her. Also, my assistant principal for discipline is Mr. J.P. Swope. And our assistant principal for attendance is Mr. Jeff Lightfoot. Our dean of students is Mrs. Grace Bigelow. And our testing coordinator is Mr. Aaron Clark. We also have one other resource member who won't be with us until August 31st, and that is our school resource officer, Deputy Emmons, and he will be with us. And like I said, all of us are here to help you. I will tell you, this is the best place to work. I've had the privilege of being at 3 schools as principal, elementary, middle, and high school, and there's nothing like this place. If you're new to our faculty, even with all of our physical and social distancing guidelines that we have and asking everybody to stay apart, please, if you're new, reach out to one of our staff members for help. We also will still have our beginning teachers, new teachers to the campus. But for all of you who are returning to campus, please welcome them with open arms. Give them the advice to how to navigate the campus. It's a big place, a lot of kids, a lot of events going on, even in the current pandemic. And so I just want to make sure to thank all of you and thank you for wanting to give service to our community and our kids. First of all, I want to talk to you about your the health and safety inside of your classrooms. So as much as possible, we've tried to thin the numbers. We're still working on it. We got 2 weeks until the 31st, so we'll continue to do that. We're looking at the sections. It's an ongoing process, and so we're working along with your department heads to try to take care of anything. Many of you, except for an ESC, we have a hybrid kind of model where we'll have kids online and kids in class. Like I said, again, we're trying to get that number as low as possible. And I appreciate all of you being flexible and learning and going through all the modeling and the Canvas lessons and getting prepared to work that. My advice, and just to reiterate to everyone, it is not my expectation that you're going to get through 100% of your material this year. I'd rather you go slow and right than fast and wrong. So just go through everything. Make sure that the kids at home, the kids here in class, everybody's at the same place. Okay? Those of you teaching the same subject, we need to make sure we're at the same place. This is very helpful to make sure that we can function even with whether we're here or if at some point the government or the superintendent tells us that we have to retreat home. So we want to make sure that we're in that place. I do want to encourage all of you to open your windows, open your classroom doors. Some of you may be asking, well, what about the Stoneman Douglas protocols? Those are still in place, but that's more on us as far as trying to keep intruders from getting on campus. But we will encourage all of you to keep your doors open, windows open to let airflow go around. The mask that kids wear is you as a classroom teacher control that. But I do want to tell you, it is best if you give mask breaks. Now, if you want to go outside, go outside. I encourage everybody, when you can, go outside. You guys as a hallway might want to talk. You might want to talk in your department. so that we don't overwhelm the spaces outside. But go when you can. If not, work to give kids a chance to have a quick mask break, even if it's a quick pull of the mask so that they can take in some air and then go through it. I think it will just help with the cooperation with the students. All of you should have been able to see, I think you've been copied on. Actually, the mask policy that we sent out actually has been updated, and we'll make sure, I will make sure to have that sent out again by our Student Affairs Department. But it's actually a little bit stronger. And we also will be coming up policies to deal with the students in the Digital Academy as well. Just make sure if they violate any of our rules in our digital sessions, that there are some severe consequences for them too. But all this is, a work in progress. So please stay in contact. If you feel like something's not right, just talk with us. As far as meetings, all of you will have virtual meetings. Now, if it's one or two, please just socially distance. But outside of that, the district has encouraged us not to have any meetings in person. Just do everything virtual as much as you can. There's already enough risk that you take on being a classroom teacher or a staff member who is assigned in a class. We just want you to socially or physically distance yourself as much as possible to protect you, your students, and of course, your family. As far as the Planet Weeks, as I said again, make sure to just get your class ready. We're not going to put any more meetings on you than the district is requiring. We want you to get prepared. We want you to work with your classmates, begin planning together. That is essential. Things are a little bit different this year because we have the 2 lunches. In the 2 lunches, that does mean that more of us will have to do duty stations, and but it is important that we know the schedule. Maroon Day is 1-3-5, which means lunch is 3rd period. Gray Day is 2-4-6, which means lunch is 4th period. And it actually means you could switch lunch. That could mean your kids are switching lunch. That's just what it is. The district decided that, along with the block scheduling, to do that this year. So we just gotta work through it. We gotta make the most of it. We are Childs, and we will make that work. Just a good reminder that during the first week of school, we're going to mainly be focusing on a lot of social emotional wellness for our students and safety protocols. That really is the focus the first week. And then we'll probably eventually during the Planet Weeks talk to you about the second week as well. But there's a lot of groundwork that we want to lay as a staff and as our teachers in the classroom to set the tone with our students, those digitally and those in front of us in the class, so that we can help get through the year, make sure our expectations are known, make sure you are also in a good space. That also brings me to you every day. Before we come to school, first thing I ask you to do is to make sure that you are healthy. If not, we'll need to make sure that you call in and work over our substitute protocols. If you haven't known, I'll go ahead and let you know now. Mrs. Lippian, who many of you've had to call her because you've been out. She accepted a 2nd grade position at Woodville. We're very happy for her, but that means we're in the process of hiring someone to take her position. But we'll make sure that we communicate that information to you. But we want to make sure every morning, if you're not feeling well, stay home, because that'll add to the anxiety, one, that you're feeling, but 2, but also for the students or even other staff members. So just remember, check yourself first before we come in and do all the other protocols. Mrs. Riddle will be talking to you about some financial matters. She's going to send you a PowerPoint. Feel free to go through that. Take your time. If you have questions, ask first. Don't just assume anything. Just go ahead and ask questions. That's part of giving you feedback and not putting too much on your plate. Another reminder about COVID protocols. Make sure you review those about whether it's a student or whether it's yourself, what you need to do if you suspect that you have COVID, or you have someone in your family, or you've tested positive. Just make sure you go through those protocols. It's better, let's call. Don't assume anything. Call. We'll work it out. Okay. It's everybody's safety that's here. That's most important. And we just want to take care of everyone. I also want to mention another point that Mrs. Miller will be working on, and she has, I think, completed our OneNote catalog, which is kind of an evolving document. But online, we'll have all the documents and things that you need in one place, so that if you need instructions on anything, you can look at that OneNote, and that's just there to help you. Because a lot of you, for years, you've had to go all over places, go to different offices, and we wanted it right at your fingertips, so that it help you navigate your day and not disrupt your time, which is very important. I just want to say again that we adore, admire, appreciate every one of you. We are here for you. If you got ideas, suggestions, we do not do this alone. Maybe you heard something from another school. All we can do is bat around, and like even many times I'm saying things to the district, the worst they can say is no. But we want to hear from you. We want the feedback, but definitely most importantly, take care of yourselves, get yourselves right, and know that the kids are coming back, and they depend on you as far as how they feel about the year ahead of us. And we're taking it one step at a time, and you are the most important person in making that happen. Thank you. Take care. Go T-Wolves.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome back. I know it seems a bit odd that we're going to have to do this virtually, and I apologize for the ummings and ahhings and trying to figure this out and talking in front of a telephone, or cell phone I should say. Hi, some of you are new, so my name's Nicola Miller. People also know me as Nikki, but I am the Principal Secretary here at Charles, so certainly welcome. Please don't be a stranger or around, and yes, I know you have the accent and I don't. Anyway, welcome back to the others. It'll be really good to see everybody's familiar faces again, and a little odd as it is for, unfortunately, this new semester, but hey, we were all muddled through this. All right, I'll try and make this as quick as I can, because there's obviously a lot going on. Pretty much what I do is anything to do with purchase orders for the district. I also do all the office supplies for you as the staff, field trips and travel, TDY, obviously our correspondence with Mr. Burgess, and work closely, with guidance and sports, anyone in the main office. But I'm here for anybody, really. I can help with anything, and I'm very happy to do that. As far as field trips, we'll start out with that. Unfortunately, with this semester, we are not doing any. But just to give you a quick insight to the new staff, that what you will do is pretty much you have to have your department head approve it. It comes to me. We send it to district. It has to get approved that way. Obviously, get with student activities secretary. With your subs, and getting those scheduled and time off requests done. This is all going to be done through me, but also Danielle Riddle, who's our bookkeeper, as far as if it's taken from internal funds and buses. So we work closely together on that. So just bug either of us on when that time comes, hopefully by next semester. TEC funds are also done through me, but you have to go through Amy Sherry first to get those approved for any conferences you guys may want to go to. And so see her, and then the information's passed on to me and then on to district. Again, those have been put on hold as well. Purchase orders are created, then made through the district, and I will inform you once those purchase orders have been created that you can go ahead and contact that vendor and give them purchase order. I will give you a copy of the purchase order, and from there, once the invoices and when the stuff comes in, I do want to know. I found that last year a lot of people were not letting me know they had received things, so I wasn't, if they hadn't, whether we should still be paying for that item or if there was an issue. So please keep me in mind when these purchases are done. and if there's any paperwork with that I need to get a copy of it. Purchase order requests are new for me this year as far as paperwork is concerned. I'm sorry, it is more paperwork, but it just keeps tab rather than an email form, that I do actually have something in writing that I can keep filed and look if I need to. So that will be done as well. It's new for this year. I will say something that we have created. It's called OneNote. I'll be sending a link to you all about that. It's pretty much a virtual notebook which we've created, and that is also through ClassLink, through the Word, 365 and OneNote, and it's the Childs 2020 Faculty and Staff Handbook. Different tabs with we've got maps and directions and what's information from the bookkeeper about travel. We've also got about what you need to do for subs, medical emergencies, emergency procedures, parking, you name it. I've tried to include everything. So, and that's the nice thing about it. When there is new information, we can add as well. So I strongly suggest that, it is the sign of the times now, that you go ahead and utilize that. And obviously any questions or something that you don't see, then just let me know. My email address is millern3@leonschools.net. My extension number is 2223. You will be getting the same as last year. You can get your case of paper and printer cartridge and Scantron sheets if you need them. There's a pack of 500 that's just given, and I haven't got a whole load left because I think they're trying to figure out if we're continuing on with the Scantron machine or not, but I do have them. So please let me know if you would like that. Let's see, what else? Keys and alarms codes are through me. The fobs are through Buck Buchanan. And please see me if you need to get a new set of keys. And if you have any old keys that you don't use, if you could return them, or a key that you don't use anymore, just give them back. Otherwise, I think that's about it for right now, everybody. Welcome back. Have a good year. Hopefully we get through this semester okay. Stay safe, and please come and say hi. All right, take care.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Amy Sherry. I am in charge of TEC, PLCs, and Leon Leads. TEC funds this year have not been distributed, so as of right now we have no TEC money. This is money that would be used for you to attend workshops or conferences. Once that money, if it is distributed, you will be the first to know. PLCs this year, we will be using Canvas opportunities for additional trainings as the year progresses, and more information about this will be forthcoming. And Leon Leads is where you access your points, your current point totals, and how to see where there's other professional development opportunities. If you have any questions about that, please feel free to reach out to me. Leon Leads is a tile under ClassLink that you can access. But feel free to email me, Sherry, SHERRYA @leonschools.net anytime you need to. Say have a good year. Kiss. Something. Nice.
Good morning, guys. Good to be back with you. Even if it's virtual, it's good to see you and start getting things going. We all know it's going to be a different kind of year, but I want you to know that we're here, all student affairs, we're all here to support you, and all administration. So let us know if you need anything at any time. Some of the things that are under me, I've got the annual required trainings. You will have received an email today or from last night about the annual required trainings for this year. I'm going to ask that you have all that done by next Friday. So you have 2 weeks to finish that. So that's August 28th. Get all that done, or you're going to start getting emails from me. Hey, please knock this out. Please get this done. But you'll have 2 weeks to do that on your own time whenever you want to get that done. ESE 504, ESOLs, IEPs, all those things. Amanda Ty will be sending out information on that. But whether we have kids in the class or we have them at home, we're responsible for all their accommodations that they get through those. So it's your responsibility, just like every year, to know what those accommodations are for every student that you have. So make sure you're aware of that. If you have any questions, contact Amanda Ty, email, phone, however you can get a hold of her. Overview of Digital Academy. So everybody's aware that in your class, on your roster, you may have 30 people. Out of those 30 people, you may have 20 people that are coming in and are going to be at your desks. And you're responsible for teaching those folks. Well, you also could have 10 people that are at home every day, and you're responsible for their education as well. And so to accomplish that, there's going to be different models that are going to be talked about over the next couple of weeks, and it's going to be individualized to each classroom on how you want to do that. But the idea is that every period, they're going to come there at 7:30 digitally, and they're going to come brick and mortar. And at that time, they need to be able to have access to you. And so if you choose to do synchronous live teaching, which means you're going to have a video camera in your room at the time of your teaching, you're teaching the classroom and you're teaching the people at home all at the same time. That's your option. The other option is asynchronous. So you can teach live to these folks, and then you have a recording for the folks at home. The only problem with that is you've got to make sure that you are available during that block to have conversations with those folks at home, to answer questions, to go over information. There's another model that's been talked about where you can work with your brick and mortar folks at the first part of the block, and then you have another section of the block that you're working with the folks at home. And so there's all these different options of how you want to do that. The biggest thing is that they are getting the same material, the same curriculum, the same teaching in brick and mortar and in the digital world. And so those are the rules of the game. That's the parameters to work within. How we do that can change, but every kid needs the opportunity to get the same education no matter whether they're at home or they're here. To do that, you've heard in your Canvas trainings, and if you haven't been to a Canvas training yet, we probably had at least half the teachers have had the opportunity to go through at least one Canvas training, if not more. That is where all the curriculum is going to be for them to be able to access it in the classroom and at home. And so everything you do is going to be ran through Canvas. If you don't know what that means, then today, I believe it's at 12:30 or 1 o'clock, I think it's 12:30, is your first Canvas training for beginners. There's also Canvas trainings on Tuesday and Wednesday. It is imperative, it is mandatory, required that you go to that training to make sure that you're aware of what you have to do in Canvas. For some of you, there's going to be content in there, FLVS content, other types of content that is built into that Canvas train or into your content area in Canvas. Some of these words may not make sense to what I'm talking about. You got to go to Canvas training. You're going to have to build your own curriculum if you don't have content in there. And then if you teach a subject area with another person, so say you teach Algebra 1 and the other Algebra 1 person, you have to have the exact same content at the exact same pace. And so these are the things you're going to be learning, and if that overwhelms you right now, just take a breath and you're going to make it. You're going to be okay. But you're going to have to go to these trainings, and there are enough people now that are trained that have this thought, have been working towards it to be able to help you. Okay, and if you need extra help, we're there to help you. Okay, talk to Mr. Clark, to Ms. Bigelow, to myself. I've been assigned as the administrator over Digital Academy, so you can read all those questions to me, and we will put you with somebody, if not do it myself, to be able to walk with you to help you during this time. So that's a little overview of Digital Academy. It's going to be an ongoing process. Okay, we're looking at all these virtual ways, strategies, and pedagogy to be able to teach in the classroom virtually. That's a new world, okay, for almost everybody here, and it's definitely a new world to do it all at the same time while you're teaching brick and mortar. We get that, okay, and our expectations are not for you to have that level of teaching you've had before, but just do the best you possibly can and help everyone have the best education they can get. through it. We're going to have an open forum. I'm not sure all's going to be there, but I can tell you student affairs and facilities are definitely going to be there. There'll be information sent out on that, so you can have a Zoom conference with us. So if there are any questions about any of these things we're talking about, that would be a time to zoom in to that conversation and get some questions answered and have access to us for that. I know you guys are going to be very busy Monday through Wednesday with all kinds of different trainings, and so you may have more questions by Thursday, so that would be an opportunity to do that. Training schedules and technology updates, those are going to be ongoing. Right now, your biggest trainings are get Canvas under your belt. Okay, that is the most important thing. Throughout the year, we're looking at PLCs being focused on that strategies and pedagogy for virtual learning and Canvas as you continue to grow in the use of that. Streamlining what we're using, that'll be talked about these next 2 weeks, so make sure you're looking for that. But are we using Remind? Are we using email? Are we using Google Phone? What all are we using for this technology? Because we all need to be using the exact same thing. And so we'll be talking about that throughout the next 2 weeks, all being on the same page, same platforms. School safety drill plan for the year. It's going to be a little different. Okay, we can't have everybody going out all at the same time on fire drills or tornado drills, everybody getting bunched up. We're not doing that. Okay, and the state's okayed that. So it's going to be a bunch of informational trainings within the classroom. So I'll give you all those dates to do that, but that's going to be you going through what it would look like in the actual event of having to do something. So whether it be a lockdown of some sort, we're not going to have everybody go to the safety corner. Okay, at best, everybody needs to know where it is, and maybe you have one person at a time go to the safety corner. I don't see us doing that in high school. That was recommended for elementary. You show them and make sure everybody knows where that is in the event that we have a shooter on campus. That's important. They need to know that. That's still a possibility in this time that we're in of Corona. If our life is on the line, then we're going to have to take measures to save it. And that's both ways, whether we're dealing with Corona and masking it up and doing that kind of stuff, or if we actually have an intruder that's trying to harm us here. So all of this is going to be accessible that Ms. Miller sent out, or by email. There's going to be lots of emails. Please keep track of those. Make a file on your Outlook, for 2020, 2021, because this is a totally different kind of year. So I encourage you to do that to make sure you can have access to all those things. And at any time, if you have any questions along the way, make sure you're calling us, emailing us, and we will get back to you as soon as possible to help walk with you through this time. And again, on Thursday, we'll have, and I'll put that out at probably 1 o'clock, but I'll put it out, an invitation to Zoom, to be able to Zoom with us to talk about that. So, guys, I hope you have a great year, and we're here, and we're going to do this together.
Hi, good morning. My name is Grace Bigelow. I'm the Dean of Students. For those of you that are new to Childs High School, I'm going to go over a few things that deal with student affairs for this school year. Basically, most of the discipline updates you'll see in emails. We're not going to go through all of them right now on this video for you to watch. Ms. Miller, Mr. Burgess' secretary, will have a OneNote that basically you can go in and find most of our policies, and that way we don't have to put them in your mailbox with a lot of papers this year. The biggest update is probably the cell phone policy as far as from last year that's not COVID related. The department heads met together last year and discussed what the cell phone policy should be, and some of that has shifted to more of a teacher control. The first time would be a warning, the second time would be a teacher detention, and the third time would be a referral to students affairs, and the fourth time. And you can see that in OneNote. There's also a behavior graphics for new employees that is in OneNote, or if you would like, we can do an individual Teams meeting for our brand new people. Our face mask policy has also been sent out on listserv and will be sent out to you and in our OneNote. It is up to the teacher's discretion for mask breaks, and it is up for your discretion whether or not kids are social distanced in your classroom. So those need to be conveyed as you meet with your students in your blocks, how your class will run with that. But masks are required in the hallways for transitions. Masks are required in the IRC at all times. Masks should be on as soon as they enter campus. They will be riding them on buses unless they can be 6 feet apart or they're eating lunch. Even at lunch, they're gonna have to put them back on. As many of you know, our OFI coordinator from last year, Mr. Davis, is now in guidance. So we do not have an OFI person. OFI will be handled in student affairs this year. And what that will mean is the procedures are no different if a student gets assigned OFI, but also please be understanding that if we are subbing for somebody or we do not have a person or staff member to manage OFI, it could get canceled. That's just the way it's going to have to be this year. So OFI is located in the Student Affairs office. It will be assigned just like last year unless we don't have somebody to man them. Staff parking, you can expect your parking tag to be put in your mailbox on August 28th as staffing is still changing. Inventory. Basically what inventory is all the things that we have in our classroom. If it has a property tag on it, please don't move it. Most of you turned in your transfer of property or your removal of property form at the end of last year. If you didn't, I will send you an email to you, not to everybody else. In case we end up going back home, we need to have one for the current school year on file. So if you don't get an email from me, you're good with inventory. If you do, please fill that form out and email it back to me, scan it back in, or put it in my mailbox, whatever you're comfortable with. Duty procedures this year, there'll be more duties. We have 2 lunches. So we will all be on duty for 2 lunches, and we'll have more teachers on duty. It's just what it's gonna have to be because we have to have all buildings covered. We are not gonna have teachers on duty in the afternoon. We think that we can cover that through admin and through our hall monitors, but we do not have as many security aides as last year this year at this point. So teachers will not be assigned afternoon duty, but we will still need teachers at both lunches, and we will need teachers, a few teachers in the morning. You'll hear more about that after Ms. Schuster and Site kind of meet and the duties are laid out. There will be no lockers first semester, so you won't see students using lockers. And there are no lunch forms this year because if a child wants a lunch, they can have a bagged lunch. There will be no dropping off at lunches in the front office. So if a kid forgets the lunch, they can go get a free bagged lunch. So students shouldn't be coming to the office to pick up Chick-fil-A and stuff like that. If you are a radio handler, if you're somebody that has a radio on you, you do not have to come and get it from me. I will have it in your classroom, on your desk, or in your area by the 28th as well. And I will send out that email list to those people affected. And welcome back.
Everybody, welcome back to school. I'm Aaron Clark. I'm in charge of wellness. We're going to take a little different focus this year. Usually we would be talking about healthy lunches, that we would discuss things, or workout groups or that type of stuff. But obviously with this day and age, we're going to talk a little bit more seriously about keeping you and your students safe. Everyone's seen the school board meetings and gotten the emails and have experienced the thrill of the mask and all of that type of stuff. So what I want to kind of do is take you through a typical day as you as a child's high school teacher on some of your roles and responsibilities that you're going to have. They're a little bit different than we've had in the past. Just so you know, like a normal school day, we're going to have a lot of the same procedures. You guys might get here at 7:15 and go into your classroom and start preparing. Me and the other administrative team will be out and about starting supervision at 6:45. We'll keep the kids that drive to school in their cars until 7:20 and then start waving them in like we did last year. The people that get dropped off or ride the bus, Ms. Bigelow and I will be out in the courtyard making sure that they are being social distanced, wearing masks if they are too close together, and that type of stuff. And then when the bell rings, they will come into your classrooms. Obviously, as soon as they are starting to move towards classrooms, regardless, they're going to have the mask. They'll start to go on, and then it will start your day. So basically what that'll look like for you is we don't want you to take the temperatures in the hallway and having a backlog out into the hallway. We'd like for you to have the children come in, sit down into the desks, and you take your temperatures, their temperatures then, and also give the pediatric assessment. Basically what that's just going to look like is you just kind of eyeball the student and you're looking for any signs of illness, any kind of visible outward signs that they might not be feeling good or they're not healthy. If that's the case, then you're going to go ahead and contact somebody in the office, and we'll go through those procedures later, and we'll send them to our sick bay area. At that point, depending on how you're doing it in your classroom, we'll start to go through some of the stuff that's in our hygiene kit here, and I'll go through that in a minute. We don't want to dictate how you do this in your classroom. We want it to be what's best for you, but there are some procedures that we have to follow on a regular basis to make sure that were in the guidelines that the district has set forth for us. So obviously that's going to be in the first period, like I said just a second ago, the temperatures and the wellness checks. Then we're going to have to disinfect the workstations. So one of the main things that we have in your hygiene kit is our disinfectant, all right? And you'll also have some refill, okay? So this will last you a little bit, okay? And we'll talk about how to get those refilled later on. You're also going to get the hand sanitizer foam. So what you want to do with this is probably leave it at the front of the classroom. If kids, you could say that they have to use it as they come in. You can say use it if you would like. It's up to you. You're going to get 25 cloths, okay? These cloths will be washed every other day. You'll get a bucket, so they'll use these cloths. You can divide them up how you want. You can say, I'm going to use all 25 on all 3 of my blocks. You can spread them around however you want to do it, so you have something that are clean the next day. However, but they're going to get washed every other day, okay? You're also going to have, this is your thermometer. You'll have some masks, just for if somebody rips a mask or something pops off of their mask or something like that, you have an extra one right there in the classroom for them. You'll have gloves. You can choose, or the students, you can mandate that they wear gloves if they're wiping down the workstation. You can use it if you're wiping down the workstation, but you're going to have a box of gloves. And then you'll have an optional face shield, and you guys have all seen these before. You don't have to wear these, but they're going to be provided for you. If you do wear these, you still must wear a cloth face covering underneath it. It's just an extra layer of protection if you so choose to do it. So basically, like say first period, at the end of first period or at the beginning, however you want to do it, you're going to need to spend a good 5 to 7, 10 minutes, however it might be, to make sure that each workstation is cleaned and wiped down, and it needs a couple of minutes to dry as well. It says on the container it needs 3 minutes to dry, all right? So we'll kind of just play that by ear and see how that works. Lunch duties and different things like that, Mr. Swope and Ms. Bigelow will go over, but we're going to need everybody to help out with all of that stuff to keep our social distancing before school, during lunch, and of course after school. If you have any questions on any of this type of stuff or you need refills, contact me or Mr. Lightfoot, and we'll make sure that we get all of this stuff to you as quickly as possible. I know it's going to be a challenging year. We're here to help you in any way possible, and we'll all just take a deep breath and we'll all get through it. All right, thank you very much.
Hi, everybody. This is Jeff Lightfoot, your assistant principal in charge of attendance. If you have any repairs or custodial needs, just email me and I will get Mr. Murray and his crew on it as soon as possible. I want to let you know that every room is going to be disinfected every day after school, so you won't have to worry about first period being disinfected by your students or yourself. The doorknobs are going to be wiped down during each block during the day. So if you see a custodian coming into your room to wiping off knobs, just let him go, trying to get those clean as possible. There is a possibility that we're going to have a disinfectant fogger for the school that will come into every room on a rotation basis and get it completely disinfected, but I'll let you know more on that when I know more. During the school year, unlike previous years, you can prop your door open and open your windows to get some circulation if you want. It's going to get a little warmer in your room if you do that, but you're welcome to do it if you want. We do have some of these polka dotted masks that were homemade. They're very nice. You're welcome to come by my office and grab one while they last. If you have any activities after school and you need air conditioning, make sure that they get put on the master calendar. I do the air conditioning from the master calendar list. Attendance every day. Your attendance needs to be in by 3 o'clock. Your Digital Academy students, you tell them when to log in during your class period. That's how you take their attendance. Okay? Once again, they need, all that attendance needs to be in by 3 o'clock every day. Tardy policy. First tardy, just the same as last year. First tardy, input a R. Second tardy, R, make contact home, document it. Give a detention. Okay, third, R, call home, and now you do a online referral. And the fourth one, you input a L and you also do a referral. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to come by.
Good morning. My name is Callie Pickens, and I'm the Assistant Principal for Curriculum here at Childs. Regarding orientation, it will be virtual this year. Schedule changes, hopefully the counselors and I will be able to get all the schedule changes done that we can before the students arrive, but we still will do some calling down of students, and we plan to make that happen. Instead of the IRC, we're going to use the auditorium this year, and we'll use the 2 outside doors to have them come in. We'll have the students socially distanced, obviously, and we'll deal with them, in a safe way and in an orderly way. So just keep your ears open for the different schedule changes and the calls that we'll do for certain letters of the alphabet. And the counselors and I will start that the second day of school. Our first week schedule is still in draft form right this minute, but we will get it to you as soon as we can. And this is the first week schedule for the students. We're working on those bell schedules to make them in order with our new block schedule. So there's a lot of changes that we're having to make with our homerooms, but stay tuned for those because they'll be coming to you soon. Welcome back, and I know it's going to be a great year.